The anger toward your narcissistic ex is eating you alive and you don't know how to let it go. You're journaling, meditating, watching all the healing TikToks, but if you're being honest, you still fantasize about them getting hit by mild traffic. I get it because I've been there. Guys, my name is Melanie Silva, recovered people pleaser turned boundaried baddie, and today I'm sharing the exact process I use to heal the rage and resentment so you can finally stop giving that narcissistic ex free rent in your mind and start feeling peace again, or feeling peace for the first time. And if you're a recovering people pleaser learning to protect your energy, grab my free guide, Say No with Grace. The link's below. Step 1, stop shaming the anger. You can't heal what you won't feel. And this is very difficult for women, especially because society does not reward you for being angry. Society is okay with watching a man be angry and get all bothered and fired up and yell and pound the table like, oh, he's really getting something done. No one pushes him around. But if a woman does the same thing, she's a lot. She's extra, she's hard to deal with, and women will receive this message not only from men, but also other women. Because in fact, society is more okay with seeing a woman sad than angry. When people see a woman sad, they're like, aw, let's help her. When she's mad, it's like, whoa, what a b****. By the way, anger is a more empowering emotion than sadness. And you can get more done angry than you can while being sad. Something to think about. So what starts to happen is you start bottling up your anger so much that you don't even realize when you do feel angry. You stop feeling anger. You start having tummy issues. And I'm here to let you know that anger is not only okay to feel, it is absolutely necessary to feel. It is your body, your intuition telling you that something is off. It is essentially your bodyguard. And the problem is that you're so used to swallowing your anger that you don't know what to do with it. And you don't know how to expel it. And you feel a lot of shame around it. So I'm here to say, let it out, baby. Let it out. Get angry. Stay angry. Think about everything they said and did to you and let your insides burn. Okay, and if you're home alone, I do suggest yelling, screaming, crying, yelling into a pillow. I have suggested that in another video and I'm suggesting it again. It is so necessary. And if that sounds like really hard for you to do, I do suggest going to a breathwork class. Now, I'm not a scientist, but here's what I've learned. Through certain breathwork techniques, you can actually breathe in a way that helps you release stored anger and emotion from your body. It's wild. You'll find yourself crying, shaking, even yelling. But afterwards, you feel this deep sense of calm. It's like the emotion finally has somewhere to go. Or I would call that one best friend up, you know, the one that you can be really real with. They're typically a Scorpio. And you can just be so freaking raw and honest about how much you hate this person. Go into all of the things that they did to you and how you just want to light them on fire. Really, let it out. I also suggest journaling because oftentimes as you're writing out your anger, you can come to the core of exactly why you're angry with a person. For example, before writing it out, you might say, oh, I'm angry at someone because they talked down to me and that hurt my feelings. But after writing it out, you'll come to a more detailed conclusion like, I hate this person because they saw that I was in a weak place and took advantage. Do you see how that is like a more specific conclusion as to why you're angry? When I got more specific about why I was angry, like not only did it help me heal faster, but it helped me see this pattern in different relationships more clearly. And so then I took action to change those dynamics as well. Trust and believe, if you are having a repeated problem with one person, it is likely that you're also having it with multiple people in different variations. So this is why it is important to let yourself feel anger. And even write it out so you can get to the underbelly of the actual thing that angers you. Step 2, do nothing. Yep, I said it. Put your feet up, baby, and stare at the wall. So, what people don't often talk about is in order to heal, you need time and space where your mind isn't doing anything. You need times of boredom. Oftentimes during my healing process, I'll have times where I give focused energy on thinking about a certain scenario that I'm healing from. And depending where I'm at, I might let myself feel it, process it, or rewire it. After that focused time on healing, I make a point to take my mind off of it completely and make sure I have enough time to do nothing. So oftentimes, it's not until I go and do nothing that trauma mysteries get solved. So what do I mean by that? Okay, I might bank in time for some meditating, journaling on a subject and focus on it for like a Monday morning, right? Then for the rest of the week, I make sure I have time for non-thinking activities. Like I'll go take a walk, go work out, have time to do chores. Typically, it's during a time of one of those nothing, mindless activities where like a big wave of emotion finally gets released. Or I'll have a huge breakthrough aha moment. Because during these types of activities, I feel safe and I'm not stressed and I'm not thinking about anything. This is something that is often overlooked in the healing space, but is so necessary. Make sure that you actually have time to process and heal by having white space in your calendar, by making sure there's mindless acts within your week so you can have the time and space for this to purge out of you. If you don't, you will not heal. Let me say that again. If you don't, you will not heal. Do not skip this step. I remember during one of my last dark episodes, I was in the middle of, my healing journey, and I was in the shower, and I was listening to Big Sean, having a good time. And then all of a sudden, this memory came out of nowhere. It was one of my first memories with my narcissistic ex, where he first started talking down to me, and I just started crying. Because the next thought I had after that memory came up was, why didn't I leave him right there and then? Another girl would have. And then I started feeling so much anger towards myself, which brings me into step 3. Understanding the 2 layers of anger. So there's the obvious anger, the anger at your perpetrator, the one who devalued you, spoke badly to you, manipulated you, gaslit you, basically terrorized you emotionally while you were in the relationship. That's all well and good. That's obvious. But there's another anger. There's the anger that you have at yourself for letting it happen. It's the self-disgust that you were a part of this toxic dance. And especially when you're healing, you're typically talking to more people and more friends about your experience. And when they start to say things like, oh, I would never accept that treatment, girl. Oh, why didn't you leave? You can't help but feel shame and anger with yourself. So it's really important that you understand you can't get rid of one without the other. If you only get rid of the anger towards the ex-spouse, you'll still secretly hate yourself. Or on the flip side, if you only process the anger that you have for yourself, you will feel unsafe in the world and feel untrusting of others. That's a scary place to be. So this is what I did and what I suggest you do. It's a memory technique. Okay, so that memory I mentioned that came up while I was in the shower, completely out of nowhere. I wasn't trying to process anything heavy. I wasn't sitting there taking inventory of old trauma. It just surfaced. When that happened, in that moment, I realized when a memory rises like that, uninvited, it's your body's way of whispering, hey, this part still needs love. So those spontaneous memories aren't random. They're invitations to heal. So don't ignore it. Take the sign, for Christ's sake. So later on, I took that memory, revisited it, And in my mind, I stepped back into my old body and watched him, my perpetrator, berate me. And I took a moment to forgive him. And then this is going to sound weird, but then I went into his body, looked at me and said, I forgive you. And then I really looked deeply at me and I said, I forgive you for accepting this treatment. You thought you had to, but you did not. And just because you didn't know better then, doesn't mean you won't know better moving forward. You can trust yourself now. And I essentially became the mama bear that I needed at the time. When I did this exercise, this really changed the game for me. So I want to repeat this again because I think it's so important. If I had not allowed myself time to do nothing or do mindless tasks or have rest moments where I just kind of let myself be, that emotion of that memory would have never come up because my body wouldn't have felt safe enough to release it. And then I would have never known that that specific moment needed to be processed and rewired. If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have been able to heal as quickly or as deeply. A lot of people heal the tip of the iceberg and get by with just feeling good enough. But oftentimes, just feeling good enough turns into existential dread that you're always running from. And who needs that? Honestly, talk about a buzzkill. We don't have time for existential dread, okay? We don't have time to be weighed down by that. We have lives to live, okay? And trust and believe you can live it. So step 4, release anger physically. You know, anger isn't just mental, it's somatic. You can't just think your way out of it. It lives in the body, the chest, the stomach, especially my stomach, okay? The throat even. If you're like me, you probably get stomach issues when you're very angry, stressed, or if a large gust of wind comes by, you know, you probably have a sensitive tummy. But seriously, you might even get autoimmune issues when you're experiencing a lot of stress. A lot of women face this, unfortunately. And that's why it is so important, even if you're not someone who works out, to start moving, start walking, start moving the energy and the anger out of you. When it comes to releasing anger, get aggressive. Like join kickboxing, do weighted workouts. Maybe if you have enough money, join one of those gyms with the ropes, you know? Okay? It's better to do that than going postal. Because honestly, there's so much anger stored within you. I think I mentioned before, but I'll mention it again, breath work is great. And also EFT tapping are very impactful. Both exercises, very impactful. Just realize that if you're looking to sincerely heal, it can't just be you talking to a therapist and intellectualizing your anger. And I'm gonna say something that might sound a little controversial. If you're a woman, you are not meant to just think and think and think in circles and overanalyze every thought and belief you've ever had until you go neurotic. You are supposed to feel. It is within your divine feminine right and power. So you can't start feeling your intuitive nature again until you kind of clear it from all of the abuse that has been put upon it. And you're not going to think your way there. Like, you need to heal so you can get to a calm place where your intuition starts pointing you in the right direction again, so that you can feel an impulse, then think about that impulse and use your mind to turn it into a decision and then act from there. That is how a woman at peace is supposed to navigate her way through life. Listen, I've had therapy. Some of them were great. Some of them started crying when I told them my life story and what I'd been through. I was like, yo, do you want to switch chairs? Should I give you the tissue? Listen, I'm not saying I'm against therapy, but I'm saying it can't be your only tool in your toolkit for healing. It just cannot. And that is at least what I have found for myself, and this is my opinion. Step 5, break the closure fantasy. A lot of times, even after you are in a toxic relationship, there's a part of you that, you secretly want them to feel bad. You want them to apologize. You're waiting for them to give you a call and be like, oh, you know what? You were right the whole time, Melanie. I've always been a lying, manipulative, scary monster. But now I've changed forever and I love you deeply. Because a part of you still misses the chemistry that you had with them. Part of you loves that feeling that they made you feel, those butterflies in your stomach, the charisma. And I'm here to tell you, there's other people who can give you butterflies and charisma without terrorizing you. Think about it, believe it, trust in it. But you really have to let go of the closure fantasy because narcissists, they lack empathy, all right? They can't validate your feelings, they can't comprehend, and quite frankly, they don't care. So you might logically know that they don't have the wherewithal or emotional capacity to tell you they're sorry and really give you a sincere apology for all the harm they've caused you. But even though you know that on a cognitive level, if you still secretly are fantasizing about them apologizing to you, or your heart races with hope when you hear a ping on your phone, hoping that it's them, just understand that you haven't fully closed that chapter and you really need to block them on everything. You need to actually heal your nervous system. Meditation can help you with this. This goes into looking up different breathing techniques as well. Once again, I've already mentioned breath work. Actually, if you're on a budget and can't go out and do these things, then do it at home. Like something I have done in the past and still do is look up sound bath music online and then do EFT tapping to that music, if that makes sense. There's a lot of help out there for you, but you have to realize when you need it and then go and do it. Like actually, it's like stop talking about it, like go do it. I really empower you to seek out tools to help yourself. You're worth it. It's worth taking the time out of your busy schedule. Okay? Actually, if you treated yourself half as good as you treated your narcissistic ex, your life would be so much better, 10x better. You'd be like a multi-millionaire, you'd be like a multi-million-dollar CEO by now. If you need someone to help you through this process, please reach out to me, comment below, help. No, I'm just kidding. Also, not to sound crazy, but talking to yourself helps too. When you replay the conversation in your head that you had with your ex, and when you find yourself reimagining the way you wish your ex had talked to you, what they should have said, how they should have validated you, what you're actually doing is validating yourself. It's you. It's always been you. You needed to validate you in the first place. If you had self-validation, you wouldn't have ended up with the narcissist. Like, really let that sink in. In seeking their validation, you're actually seeking your own validation. You need self-validation, you need self-love. You need to love yourself so much that you don't end up in that relationship again. So you need to be able to fill that void within your soul. So that conversation where you're imagining it's them, it's actually you through them, which is actually the whole dynamic. Your self-view was dirt. So then you also attracted someone who treated you like dirt. If this is kind of confusing, feel free to drop a comment, confused. I can make another video about this, but understand the validation you're looking for from them is really something that needed to come from you in the first place. This kind of turned into like 2 steps. So this was 1, break the closure fantasy, and 2, start the self-validation, self-love fantasy. Step 6, fill the void with peace and power. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. There is this strange kind of gray space after you have forgiven someone and you've done the healing work where you feel lighter and relieved, but you also feel like this floating blob in space where you feel just kind of neutral to everything. Like you feel lighter, but you don't know what else to do with this new time and space. You might feel a little trepidatious to get back out into dating. You might even feel trepidatious in letting certain friends in or making new friends. You're like a traumatized dog coming out of the shelter. You just found a new home, but you're still skittish of the new owner because the last one did you dirty. And when you're alone, you're in this place of, I'm neutral, but not super excited about anything, but not super negative about anything. And I implore you to use this void as a time to build your new self, you know? This is a time to build more joy back into your life. Join a class, join a group that does something you used to do. If you used to like to cook, join a cooking class. And what's good about these kind of classes and groups where you're working on your joy is it's also a nice place to socialize with people who don't know you that well. All right, sometimes you need a break from people who know the worst and best of you and have the ability to kind of lightly play with people who don't know you that well and who are probably never going to know you that well. Yes, I am telling you to talk to strangers. And in this scenario, it's safe. We don't give enough value to light interactions in the world. You know, everybody wants to sound super cool and say, I'm not into small talk. But quite frankly, small talk fills the gaps between small and big, light and heavy. And it's okay. In fact, it's healthy to have these light experiences with others. It reminds you that not all people are bad, including yourself. Yeah, you don't need to hate yourself. So I really do implore you to do something that just fills your cup and also has other people attached to it while you're kind of in this void space. And as you feel better, you'll start to get a better grip on yourself. And hey, you might start pouring more into yourself again, your job, going after that promotion. You might start working out more and be like, I actually want to take care of my body, enhance my fitness. You might say, hey, I've actually always wanted to start this side hustle, so I'm gonna go do that. Like, the void is a very powerful space to be if you use the time well. So it's important to fill the void with goodness. As I've said in other videos, fill it with slivers of joy. Start building the infrastructure of your new life. But I'll tell you, you're not going to be able to see the whole new life all at once. You're not going to know what your whole new life looks like right after the breakup. It's going to be bit by bit. And it starts with incorporating what feels good into your life again. So I will tell you, this is huge. And this is how I rebuilt myself after my relationship with a narcissist and how I essentially became a new person. I couldn't have become a new person if I didn't let myself be in the void. If I hadn't inserted joy back into my life, I would not have been able to rebuild myself. So please take the time to reconnect with you again. Healing from narcissistic abuse isn't about pretending you're okay. It's about reclaiming the parts of you that you forgot how powerful you were, all right? Or maybe you never even knew it in the first place. So if you're angry right now, good. That means your spirit's waking up. Just don't stop there. Make sure to heal because peace is waiting for you on the other side. And if you're ready to set boundaries like the Boundaried Baddie you are, download my free guide, Say No with Grace, the link's below. Because saying no isn't mean. It's self-respect in action, okay? I love y'all. See y'all in the next one.